Okay, here we are. I'm going to do a tutorial for the song Always. This is going to be in the key of D. I want to talk through a few things first. I'm going to break it up into sections just to, I want to be able to go slowly and kind of explain what I'm doing. Also, I realize when I'm playing slide guitar, it's kind of hard to see exactly where my hand is exactly. So one thing to remember with the difference between picking a note and slide guitar, if I say 12th fret, that's picking the 12th fret, but with a slide guitar, the slide actually goes over the front edge of the 12th fret. So the slide actually goes here, not in the middle of the fret, but over the wire. So this is how I'd play the 9th fret, not in the middle between the wires, but over the leading wire. So that was 12, 11, 9. Okay? All right, now into the song. Okay, let's walk through that. It's 7, 12, 11, slide up to a 9, and then 9, 11, 9, 11, or that was 9, 11, 9, 7. And then at the very end of that, you drop down to the 4th. All right, all over again. 9, 11, 9, 7. Down to the 4. Then we just repeat part of that. So that was 9, 11, 9, 7, and we just hang out there. We don't drop to the 4 that time. All right? Okay, so what happens after the intro? The EG1, electric guitar 1, sits out for verse 1 and verse 2. Then it comes back in at the chorus and plays the refrain. So let's walk through it, and then I'll play it in full context. I'm going to start, I'm not going to slide, I'm going to pick the D and G strings on the 12th fret. And then drop the G string down to the 11th fret. Then we go back to the slide, it's up to the 9. And then 9, 11, 9, 11. And then 12th, 7. And then it's 9, 11 on the G string, and then 10th on the B string. All right, that finishes, well, I think it's the chorus. Now we're back to the refrain. But we'll go check it. Okay, so I did go back and check it, and everything I played was correct, so I'm going to play that whole part in context. So
I will sing.
Okay, so now we're just before verse 3. We're actually going to sit out the first half of verse 3. We come in the second half and then into the chorus. I'm going to play it in context, and I'm going to try to explain the different parts and pieces. A lot of this we've already played. There's a few couple new parts or licks here, so I'll try to emphasize those. So here we go.
My treasure, he's good beyond all
Talk through that. Again, I'm coming in halfway through verse 3. We're going to do a slide up to the 7th, drop back down to the 4th. Then up to the 11th. Then the 9th. Now we're kind of back into parts that is new. We haven't done that yet. Now we're back into parts that we have played before. Recognize all that, and basically what they're doing is just playing that twice. So we're playing the chorus twice. You'll just kind of have to watch for when you do play a tag twice. The first time it's, and then the second time you play the tag. Okay, heading into the next section. One other thing I want to point out real quick, I noticed that sometimes I'm hitting when we're playing like the 12th and down here at the 7th. Sometimes we're hitting just one string, but just to thicken up the sound, they start kind of hitting two strings, hitting the D and G. So instead of just the G string, we're hitting the D and G. You can hear the difference between a single note and what a part of a chord. So that was a single note and then double notes, okay? Okay, now we're headed into a series of bridges, and then they go back and do a couple choruses and then more bridges. The first time through the bridges, we actually sit out the very first bridge. When we come in, it's rather simple. We're just kind of alternating between a D chord and a G chord. The way we're doing that is, that's the D chord. Notice I'm playing the B, G, and D strings. And then the G chord that we go up to is the 12th fret. Same thing, we're just going to pick the D, G, B, the B, G, D strings. And then into a couple choruses. I'm not going to repeat that because it's what we've already done. But to put that in context, here we go.
Standing on the rock of ages.
Okay, I stopped it there. So again, we sat out a bridge. We played 2 bridges where we're just alternating between a D and a G chord, and then we go back into a pair of choruses. We've already played those. I've already demonstrated those, so I'm not going to repeat it. And then we head into even more bridges, and those are very similar, except they have one little twist, and we'll cover that. Okay, like I said, we did some bridges. We repeated choruses. We're back into bridges again. I'm going to play through it, and then I'll break it down. That's actually a good place to stop because there's quite a bit to chew on there. So what we're doing, again, we're just alternating between the D and the G. But one thing that's different, we go into that breakdown part where the guitar drops out. And then when the guitar does come back in, what that line is, I'm going to fret it first and then we'll play it with the slide. It goes all the way up here to the 16th, and then it goes to the 18th and 19th. So that's 16, 18, 19, 14. And then it does a 7, 9, 9, 11. Okay? Let's talk through that. I took a couple liberties and just played a little bit modified version. I mean, as long as you're staying in the chord structure, all right. I started, I picked up, there's a little bit of overlap there where we ended the one set of bridges. And then we come into the new bridges. The final set of bridges. And a couple things that's different there is I'm starting on this D. So all through the song, the bass part has been dropping down to this B chord, but we've been ignoring it. This time we're going to follow the bass part. So we're going to go from the D to the B. And then up to the G. And then this is the part where I'm kind of adding what I hear. So I'm on this G chord and it's on the 12th fret. I'm just sliding up to the 14th and dropping down to the 11th, 9th, 7th. 11, in that area that should take you to the end of the song. I hope that was helpful. Thanks.